Welcome to Positive English Journey, the podcast where you practice real English and grow as a person at the same time. I'm Emma, and today I'm here with Daniel. We are talking about something I think every single one of you has felt at least once. Something personal, something a little brave.
Have you ever had a dream? Not the kind you have when you sleep, but a real deep wish for your life. And you kept it completely secret, not because you forgot it, because you were afraid of what people might say. If that sounds like you, this episode is for you.
I want to start honestly. A few years ago, I had a dream I almost never let myself think about. Every time it came into my mind, I pushed it back down. I told myself, it is too big, people will laugh. Who do you think you are? And the dream just sat there, inside me, very quietly, waiting. Today we are going to talk about that, the dreams you dare to say out loud and the ones you do not. And we are going to practice the English to say them.
Emma, the dream you just mentioned, can I ask what it was?
Okay, yes, for a long time I wanted to be a writer. Not someone who writes emails or articles for work, a real writer, books, stories that people carry around with them for years. And every time I thought about saying that out loud, I just hesitated.
Why did you hesitate?
Because saying it makes it real. And if it is real, it can fail. And if it fails, it feels like you fail too. Like the dream is part of who you are. So if it does not work, what does that say about you?
I know that feeling. I know it deeply. Mine was music. I wanted to write songs, not perform them, just write them. For years, I told people I like music, but I never said I aspire to create it. And there is a real difference between those two sentences.
There really is. I like music is completely safe. Nobody can question that. But I aspire to write songs. That puts something on the line. You are saying, this matters to me. This is not just something I enjoy. This is something I am reaching toward.
And reaching is uncomfortable because you might not get there.
Right. But here's what I have been thinking. The people who never say their dream out loud, they protect themselves from failure, but they also protect themselves from everything else, from the feeling of moving towards something, from the small moments when you look back and think, I did a little more today than I did yesterday.
And from the joy of pursuing something, just the pursuit itself.
Yes, pursue. When you pursue something, you are not sitting and waiting for it to happen. You are walking toward it on the good days and the hard days, even on the days when you think, is this actually going somewhere?
You know what is interesting? There is a difference between I want to and I am working toward. I want to lives only in your head. I am working toward. That is already moving.
Yes, I want to travel one day. You can say that for the rest of your life, but I am working toward traveling. Something is already happening, even if it is just saving a small amount of money or spending one afternoon learning about the places you want to go.
Small movement is still real movement.
And I think it is the difference between a wish and a dream. A wish is passive. It sits and waits. A dream is something you actively choose again and again, even when it is hard.
Can I say something? I think learning English and having a hidden dream are more connected than people realize.
What do you mean?
When you speak in a language that is not your first language, you are already doing something brave. Every sentence is a small risk. You are using words that do not feel completely natural yet. You are putting yourself in a position where you might make a mistake, and someone will hear it, and you do it anyway.
That is exactly what it feels like to say a dream out loud. You use words that feel bigger than you, words that might not fit yet, but you say them.
So every time you practice English, right now, listening to us, You are building the same courage you need to say what you really want from your life.
I believe that completely. And if you are listening right now in English, which is already brave, and you have a dream you have been carrying quietly for a long time, I want you to know something. The fact that you have not let it go means something. That dream is still there because it belongs to you. It is still alive. And you do not have to tell the whole world, but maybe tell one person. Or write it down. Or just finish this sentence quietly right now. I aspire to say it, even in a whisper.
Now I want to talk about something that is hard. What happens when you do say your dream out loud and the person you told does not respond the way you hoped?
Because that is one of the most painful moments. You finally say it, and the person looks at you and says, "Really? But how would that actually work?"
When I told my mother about the song, she said, and I know she said it with love. She said, "That is nice, Daniel, but what is the real plan?" And that word real, it went straight into me. Like what I wanted was not real. Like I needed to justify my dream before it had permission to exist.
Like it needed someone else's approval first.
Yes, and for a while I gave her words more weight than my own feeling. I thought, maybe she sees something I cannot see. Maybe she is right to worry.
What changed?
I understood something. Someone can love you deeply and still not be able to see what is possible for you because they are looking from the outside. They see the risk. They see the difficulty, but they are not inside you. They cannot feel what you feel when you are doing the thing you care about. Only you can feel that.
And no one else can make that decision for you.
No one. And that voice inside you, the one that keeps coming back to the dream, quietly again and again, you have to dare to listen to it. It does not shout, but it is always there.
Dare. I think that is one of the most important words in this whole conversation. You do not need to be fearless. Nobody is truly fearless. You just need to dare once, to take one small step toward the thing you want, and then dare again the next day.
One small step is still movement, and movement is everything.
Can I ask, what happened with the music?
I still write, not every week, but I write. I have a folder on my computer full of songs that nobody has ever heard. Maybe nobody ever will, but they exist. I made them, and that matters to me in a way I cannot fully explain.
You do not need to explain it. I think everyone listening right now understands that feeling. The thing you make not for anyone else, just because something in you needs to. That is the purest version of a dream. That is real.
And what about your writing?
Still happening. I have not written a book yet, but every week I write something that is only for me. Not for the channel, not for a job, just for the story. And I think that is what pursuing a dream actually looks like. Not the big finished result, but the small, repeated choosing. Choosing it again, even when nothing is guaranteed.
The dream is the pursuing.
And being vulnerable enough to keep admitting that it still matters to you. Even after a hard week. Even after someone said something that made you doubt yourself.
Vulnerable. Being vulnerable means letting something real be seen, something you care about deeply. And yes, some people will not understand it. Some will look at your dream and only see the risk. But some will look at you and say, "Me too. I have one of those too."
And that moment, when someone says, "Me too," it changes everything. Suddenly you are not alone in it.
So do you, listening right now. What is the dream you have not said yet? The one that has been waiting?
You do not have to share it with us if you are not ready, but say it to yourself. In English, right now, quietly, I aspire to Finish that sentence. And then ask yourself, what is one small step I can take toward that this week? Just one.
Because that is where everything starts. One sentence, one step. And before we finish, let's go through 5 key words from today's conversation. Words that will help you talk about your dreams in English.
Number 1, hesitate. B1. To hesitate means to pause before doing or saying something, usually because you feel nervous or unsure. In our conversation, Emma said, "Every time I thought about saying it out loud, I just hesitated." Can you think of something you hesitate to say in English or in life? Write it in the comments.
Number 2, aspire. B1. To aspire to something means to really want to reach it. It is a stronger and more personal word than just want. Daniel said, "I never said I aspire to create music." Finish this sentence right now. I aspire to... Write your answer below.
Number 3, pursue. B1. To pursue something means to actively work toward it, not just wish for it, but walk toward it every day. Emma said, that is what pursuing a dream actually looks like, the small, repeated choosing. What is one thing you are pursuing in your life right now?
Number 4, dare. B1. To dare means to be brave enough to do something that feels difficult or risky. Daniel said, you have to dare to listen to that quiet voice inside you. What is one thing you want to dare to do this week?
Number 5, vulnerable. B1. Feeling vulnerable means letting people see something real and personal, something you care about deeply. Emma said, being vulnerable enough to keep admitting that it still matters. Is there something you feel vulnerable about? You do not need to share what it is, just notice that it is there.
The dreams you are afraid to say out loud, the ones you keep quiet because the world feels too loud or too quick to say, be careful. Those dreams stay with you for a reason. They belong to you.
What is one dream you have been keeping quiet? Tell us in the comments, in English, in any words you have. We will be there reading every single one.
Thank you for spending this time with us today on Positive English Journey. If this episode felt like something you needed, please subscribe. We make 2 new episodes every week, and we would love to have you back. See you next time.